Well, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. I just got done mowing the entire property, and it is hotter than Hades out here today. And I'm glad I got the mowing done because I always like the way it looks once it's all trimmed and everything, and I can kick back and relax and enjoy the fruits of my labor. But in this video, I wanted to talk about what I believe is the biggest problem with today's society. You know, you see all these videos online of all these people saying they can't afford to live today and they can't afford to do anything. They can't have anything and yada yada. And though I know there's going to be a lot of people that'll probably disagree with me, I'm going to tell you the reason why we are in the boat that we're in today as a nation. And the same thing applies to other countries around the world. You know, when you're younger, you have all these hopes and dreams and you want to acquire all these things in your life and you want to have all kinds of nice things. But in order to afford the nice things that you want to have, you have to go in debt. You have to have credit. And then you spend the rest of your life paying for that stuff that you acquired when you were younger. And then as you get older in life, you're still paying for it. And you know, the old saying is, good things come to those who wait. And the best things in life happen much later in life. And that's very, very true. And when I was younger, now I happen to be somebody that's very, very rare. I'm among the very, very small class of people in the United States that never got credit. Never in my life have I ever filled out an application, never applied for credit, never had a credit card, never used a credit card in my entire life. I've always used cash. And though I had a low-paying job all throughout my life, I never could afford to do anything, and I never could afford to have anything because I forewent using the credit to get the things I wanted to obtain that I couldn't afford to buy outright with the money that I was earning because I wasn't making enough. And a lot of people are in this boat. But here's the thing that's paid off for me. By foregoing, when I was much younger in life, of getting and obtaining the things that I wanted to have, now that I'm much older in life, I don't have to worry about paying for those things. I'm not in debt. Because when you get older, you only end up getting rid of those things that you're paying for. And those are the things that are going to keep you poor. A house, a car payment, student loan, all this stuff that you owe money on. This is why people today can't afford groceries, can't afford clothes, can't afford anything, is because of the bills that they owe. The only way that you're going to be in a good place is if you owe nothing to nobody. Not $1 owed to anybody. And I'm so glad that I don't have the things that I wanted when I was younger, because now I don't have to worry about paying for any of that stuff. I held out and I waited. And I waited. And now I'm making more money than I ever made in my life. And it was because I took charge of my life. I stopped working for low-paying jobs. I stopped working for employers that didn't appreciate me. I stopped working for employers that did not offer benefits or vacation time or sick leave or anything. I stopped all that and I ended up doing this for a living, and I make more money now than I could have ever imagined or dreamed in my life. As the months and years go by, it's only growing. And now that I'm at the place where I'm at in life and I've never had any credit, never had any debt, I don't owe any bills, and now I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life. Now it affords me to do anything that I want to do, go anywhere that I want to go, and I have pure 100% freedom to do it all. This is why people can't afford anything today, is because all their money gets shelled out to someone else. You make your money and you shell it out to someone else, whereas instead you want to be someone like me, where all the money that you make you can put in your pocket and you can put in the bank and you can pay yourself, and you don't have to give one red cent to anybody. Bridget is just like me. She's very, very smart. When she bought this property on 6 acres, Bridget did not go to a bank to get a loan. Bridget paid cash for this house. Cash. And she bought it outright. Paid it all in cash. There's no mortgage on this house. And because there's no mortgage, our vehicles are paid for. We don't owe anything to a bank. There's no student debt. We don't owe on anything because everything we buy, we pay cash for. So that's what affords Bridget and I to be able to do anything that we want to do. It doesn't matter how high groceries get, I can afford it. Doesn't matter how expensive clothes get, I can afford it. Because now we're both making more money than we've ever made in our life, and it's because the debt isn't taking it all, because we don't have any. because we don't owe a bank. We don't owe a credit card company. We don't owe for student debt. We don't owe for all these ridiculous things that people go into debt up to their eyeballs for. So when people wonder how can they make it in this world and how can they live and survive, you got to get rid of the debt. Debt is the number one reason why houses cost what they cost, automobiles cost what they cost, clothes cost what they cost, everything costs what it costs. It's because of debt. Why? Because these companies know that if people can't afford the things that they want, they'll run to the bank, they'll get the money to buy it. So being that these sellers know that it's going to be bank money to purchase what they're selling, they can ask pretty much anything that they want because they know the person's going to get a loan to pay for that item that they can't afford to pay back, but it's not their problem once you buy it off of them. It's now your problem. That's why things cost what it does. It's because of debt. 100% because of debt. Whether you believe that or not, debt is why things in this economy cost what it costs today. This is why you see homes going for humongous prices, trucks going for over $100,000. It's because of people running to banks and purchasing everything in this country with bank money. That's what ran up the price of everything. And being that I don't live like that, now I can afford to do anything that I want to do in my life because I don't owe any of these bastards anything, and all the money that I make goes directly to Bridget and I. I put it all in the bank, I put some of it in my pocket, and I have cash on me every single day, 365 days a year. And I've got the money to go out to dinner, buy clothes, buy groceries, take trips, go on a vacation, anything Bridget and I want to do, I've got the money to do it. And it's not bragging, it's a fact, because I've never had debt in my life, and I held out until I could do something someday to where I could make more money than I've ever made in my life because I took control of my own life and stopped working for the man, and I never fell for the scam of ever applying for credit. Every time I go somewhere, even if it's like Home Depot, and they say, well, you can save 20 to 30% off your bill today if you apply for a Home Depot card. And I tell the person, it's because I didn't fill out an application like that is the reason why I have money to even be here shopping today. So no thank you. And then they turn around, keep doing what they were doing, and don't say a word because they know what I'm telling them is true. I never fell for that trap. And I thank God I never did, because God has blessed me with enough smarts to hold out for later in life, so now I could be living the life that I want to live in my older years, so now I can afford to do the things that I could not afford to do when I was younger. And let me tell you what, I'd rather be where I'm at today than where most people are, and it's all because I waited and I bide my time until I got up to where I could make enough money to where I could live comfortably and very, very good and never be broke. Never be broke. And I thank God for it. I thank God for the blessings, and I thank God that He gave me the mind to see to it that I never fell for that trap, because it even says in the Bible, do not take on credit because you'll be a slave to your debtor. The Bible is even against it, yet people go out and do it because it's the only way they can obtain things. Well, if you want to live good and you're later in your years, you want to make as much money as you can, and you want to owe for nothing, and everything that you have in life is paid for in cash. That's how you live the best of your life when you get into retirement, is by not owing a damn dime to anybody. That's my best advice to people. Don't get into debt, don't incur debt, and don't take out high interest loans to buy things you're only going to get rid of when you get older anyway. It's a waste of time, and you're going to ruin your life, and you're going to spend your golden years paying for things that you're not even going to want when you reach that age anyway. And if you do pay it off, you're not even going to keep it. You'll sell it, and you'll no longer even keep the thing that you went into debt to purchase to begin with. It's very, very dumb and foolish to get into debt on a bunch of foolish things. It's just not worth it. I thank God that I've got the money to do anything that I want to do. And it's all because I was disciplined and I stayed the hell away from credit 100%. And boy, am I thanking myself for it now. I now make almost 7 times what I was making when I was working for the man. And that's only going to grow from now on. And thank God I never had credit ruin my life. So get out of credit, pay things off, and start making as much money as you can, doing whatever you can, and start saving your own money and paying yourself first, and keep your bills as low as humanly possible, and then you'll have the money to have the life that you're going to want to have when you get much older. That's my best advice to you. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.